All right, first off, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview with the Hype Magazine tonight.
Man, of course, man. Of
And to get
course.
started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you're from?
So Kid Class, producer, songwriter, engineer, studio on the titles go on, but I'm based in Atlanta.
Okay. Now, with you being based in Atlanta, what made you decide you wanted to get into the music industry and pursue this as your career?
Man, it kind of, I ain't gonna say fell in my lap in the sense of like I knew a lot of people doing music, but it was kind of like around my high school at the time. So
Okay.
it was kind of like something to try.
Yeah.
And when I was in school, and from there it kind of like sparked a lot of interest because originally I was just playing basketball.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and it sparked a lot of interest, and then I ended up getting an internship at Grand Hustle because it was around the time where T.I. had to go to different schools for like community service or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much like my start in the game at that point.
That's fire. So you're in college you're in school for basketball, and then the opportunity for Grand Hustle comes about. What was it about Grand Hustle that interested you? Like you said, you were in basketball, not really thinking about music to say, but
Right.
what got your interest in that in the first place, and what's some of the things you got a chance to do being around T.I. and Grand Hustle like that?
Well, I mean, I guess interest in Grand Hustle was more so just, as any kid, it'd be like, I mean, shoot, favorite rapper or something
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? And but it was like my only way of like seeing any real way of like getting into the industry. You know what I mean? I didn't know no other way, to be honest with you. It's not like I knew a bunch of labels. You know what I mean? So I guess that'd be pretty much like what like made me like do it. You know what I mean? It just came to they just came to the school and I was like, yo, what? This don't happen to nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that era of like even getting into music, like what even like took me away from basketball. It was just like that era of music. I feel like everybody was doing music, and it's kind of like that now. But it's like the era I'm talking about is like Soulja Boy era, where it was like it became like really accessible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like everybody had their home setups, and I hate to say it, but like with Soulja Boy, it's like quality kind of went out the window.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If that is not, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it's just like at that time, if you remember, like before, like
He started putting out so much material that that he was one of the first artists to put out a lot of material back to back like that.
Right, and that was before like even I want to say like before like really Gucci and all that like was like really popping, or it was like kind of the same era, but it wasn't the Gucci that like where he was putting out stuff that didn't have up quality. Like it was just like I feel like that era, like before Soulja Boy, you really had to go to the studio and you made a song, and it was like the proper way of doing things. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't what he did. Like he had to re-record Superman.
Yeah.
And all stuff like
to make it sound better. A lot of people don't know that you got to record music multiple times to perfect the sounds and stuff like that. So how do you when do you make the transition to becoming a producer? Like you said, you're interning for Grand Hustle. When do you get into the to producing element of it, and when did you know that it was going to be something you were going to be great at? Like when you had great talent with it.
Well, I was producing before I actually started working for Grand Hustle, but it was just like one of the things, just making beats at the house or whatever. Yeah. So that was actually kind of my way into Grand Hustle. Like I had a friend. I mean, to be honest, at the time, I didn't even think they would like listen to me or like hear me. You know what I mean? So my friend was like, "Man, we're gonna try it." So he pretty much did like all the talking. He was like, "Man, my boy produced, engineer, all that stuff." You know what I mean? And from there, yeah, it just kind of went. You know what I mean? So that's just something I was doing while I was there. But how I knew I'd be great at it, man, is just like, any approach that I take to anything, even like with basketball, I feel like I would have been even crazier if it was like still my main focus at the time. You know what I mean? Right. If I wanted to put that work in, that's what would have happened. But, music, yeah, man, it was just something like, I don't know, it's like it was just a feeling or like an energy. I mean, it still is like just this energy that I
Yeah.
just want to give them all, you know what I mean? Just music ain't one of them things you can just do for money.
Yeah,
Like
facts. You gotta love what you're doing. I know
right,
one of your first plaques comes from YG. So how did you link up with YG, and what
right,
was the song that you were a part of if people's not familiar with it?
right. So I like the man, it's like a trickle down effect. But I worked with him over at Icon Studios, but it's kind of like a trickle down effect. I was networking with this producer on Twitter, and then he ended up like I think right. So he was in Chicago. I don't even remember bro name right now, but
Yeah.
he was in Chicago, coming to Atlanta, and wanted me to work with. I can't even remember. It was like the era of Chicago. It was like Lil Durk, Lil Reese, like that old Young
Okay.
Chop.
Yeah.
All them. It was like their era. So anyway, it went from him plugging me with somebody with Young Chop, and then Young Chop had Lil Reese, and then Lil Durk came about, but they was all like under Sycamore, which was over at Def Jam. Well, Sycamore is he was the VP, I think, at the time at Def Jam or whatever. And then what Sycamore had, he had YG as an
Yeah.
artist.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So when he brought YG to the studio through that like kind of trickle down effect, because they messed with me, and I started working on YG. You know what I mean? So anyway, the record that I worked on was Left Right,
Yeah.
My Crazy Life. Yeah, so that's just how that kind of came about.
That's really dope because through your story, you're talking about a lot of people who are vouching for you and they're making these connections for you and stuff like that. So it speaks highly about how you are as a person for people who want to do that for you. Where were you at when you got the call that YG wanted to use the beat? You know what I mean? Left Right is a big song off that album. If you're a fan of YG, that stands out. So where are you at when you got the call saying they wanted to do it, and how excited was your family when they got word that had a major placement?
Well, so at the time, so actually, I just recorded and mixed on that record. You know what I mean? So that's
Okay.
how that came about. But um, uh, you got to think YG wasn't YG at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I worked with him like that, I don't even remember what year that record came out right now, but like
Okay.
you got to think like all he had out was like Tooted and Booted.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
so you
mean?
had early YG. You had YG when he was going crazy in the clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, like like my nigga, left, right. I mean, not left, right. What's the song with Gotti and I don't know. Get
Yeah.
your mind right. I don't know. It's something with Jeezy, but like none of that stuff was out at the time. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I was even. I want to say I was in the room even when they had that phone call with Drake, or I don't know if it was with Drake or like the fact that they like somebody on Drake's team
Yeah.
said that he was gonna do the record. Who do you love? With YG, like you know what I mean. Like I was
That's
there
right.
like early, like I knew he was about to become somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Just off of sometimes, man, it's just the energy you get around certain people, and they have like that team around them or something like
Yep.
that. You kind of tell, like, man, they about to be up next, like and sometimes it's falsified, but more times than not, for me, I was around like a lot of them teams where like, dang, and then they just end up blowing up or whatever. But
Yeah, you've
yeah,
seen it. You've seen behind the scenes of all this stuff. You've seen what it takes to really
right,
make these dreams come true. A lot of people in this industry have claims of what rooms they've been in, what they've seen, but I know
right.
you specifically, you've really been in these rooms. How great does it feel to now have a podcast industry combos where you and your team are, telling these stories and helping the up and coming artists? Like, how great does it see that your podcast is really having a great voice like that?
Man, I mean, it feels good, man. It's a growing platform, but I feel
Yeah,
like the platform like we building is like it's just like I say it like this, like I go to like a lot of networking events and I go to panels and been on panels, and I feel like the question is a little generic. You know what I mean? When it comes to like, I feel like that about a lot of panels, you know what I mean? Not even just like the music industry panels. I might go to a real estate panel and all that, but like I feel like
Yeah, people don't ask the real questions in front of a panel like that.
right, you know what I mean? I feel like industry convos, like we get to a point where it's like we kind of know like the audience is me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like even when I ask a question, like even if I know it, it's like a songwriter, whoever, like want to know this right here. It's like, yeah, we know we can do it. Yeah, we know all that stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like, why should I take a pub deal? Why, or how do I look at negotiating a pub deal? Or you know what I'm saying? What makes this company different than the other? Like, you know what I mean? Just thinking like that. So you know what I mean? So that's
I've seen some of your guests. They had a conversation about the back end. Why should you take a smaller upfront? Because you can pay off you can recoup faster than that, and now you can start getting paid. Like conversations that people don't understand in this industry. Like everybody wants to be in the music industry, but these business conversations that you guys are having are very valuable. How many episodes have you had so far, and how did you go about picking some of your guests?
We've had about, I can't remember what's out. I think we got like 10, 11 that's out right now,
Yeah.
but I got like 3 unreleased right now. But I kind of go about picking my guests. And I mean, one, you gotta be knowledgeable of what you're talking about, because we have people reach out or whatever, but some people is like, I mean, I don't even know the purpose of like talking to you, not in a egotistical way, but just more so like I don't know the knowledge that you have to like.
Yeah, I don't know what you're bringing to the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's less of an interview. It's more so of a, I mean, it gets the feeling like an interview sometimes, but like, but it's more so really conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get into the backstory. I mean, I guess the backstory of your life, kind of, but it's like just for why people want to listen to you, but that's like not what the interview totally is about. When you like pushing the album, okay, what goes into making this album or whatever. It's like I'm getting into like split sheets and like, you know what I mean? I'm getting into like the nitty
That's
gritty.
what we are here with SBR Talk Series. We want to get into the rollout that came up after the song was made. How did you become, that story? I want people to watch this interview who want to be a producer and say, oh, that's how he got this lane, or he didn't think to do that move. So I appreciate you coming on. You've had a lot of success. 2-time Dove winner, a producer. Like that's an amazing accomplishment. Corin Hawthorne, I Am is the song. How did that song come about, and how great did it feel to win that award for that prestigious group of followers and stuff?
Man, I mean, it felt good. So I Am is actually the album for Corinne.
Okay.
And I did a record on there called Sunday, and then the album before I did Want to Do It Unstoppable for her, and those are definitely pretty high charting records for, well, it was number 1 for Corinne or whatever, well, for us, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, no, it feels good, and just to kind of like be recognized by your industry. I think everybody like wants the opportunity to be like, man, like my industry respect like what I'm doing and the work that I put in. So it's like, because a lot of times like in this industry, you can feel like you're unseen and like you putting in all this work for nothing. So it's like, I know a lot of people shit on awards and all the other stuff, but maybe you shouldn't like hold it as far as like for it to be your all, but like, like sometimes, man, you need a pat on the back.
No, definitely, especially because you're so humble. You can tell you're so humble. And what's funny to me is your catalog and your knowledge, the rooms you've been in is bigger than most people that are in this industry, but you can tell you're humble about it. So when you get those awards, it's just to show the people who are watching, I keep telling you I'm on some next level stuff. Maybe if this award tells you this, maybe you follow. Like I seen you were at the Grammys, like not too many producers are getting invited to the Grammys and getting to have that experience. So it shows you've got a real talent for what you're doing, and the people love it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Now, when you're at the Grammys, what were you out there for? Can you give us a little backstory to what you were out there for, and what was your experience for that weekend, and just being a part of it?
So another way I kind of like grew my network is like just kind of being like just different places or whatever, and LA being one of those places. Where LA, I will always go to like Grammy weekend, BET weekend. and just kind of like just grow my network from there. It wasn't like necessarily at the award shows at the time, you know what I mean? But whatever
Being at the
party,
right spot at the right yeah.
yeah. And then I just ended up growing my network from there. As I look back at it now, it's like my network is like so much bigger out there, and it's crazy. So, but like to actually go to the Grammys, is actually cool. Like, so I'm a part of the Grammy chapter in Atlanta
Yeah.
now. Yeah. So with that, it has its perks or whatever. But it's cool, man, just to, coming up and you see the Grammys on TV
Yeah.
or you see BT Awards or MTV, whatever. You see these awards and you had an opportunity to be there, man. It's like kind of surreal, you know. And then I know I'm guilty of like being so wrapped up in wanting to like win, be nominated, all that stuff. It'd be like sometimes I don't even like relish in like the moment of like, man, I used to dream to be
Yeah.
here. Like you didn't even think being a part of the audience was a fact that you thought you had to walk on stage. So now you're here. Now I got to get to the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I guess I've been close. Well, anyway. Yeah, I got to get
Yeah.
to the stage and make a speech.
Now, I seen you did some really dope work with Ace Hood. Salute to him. The song was "Relationship," filling you. How did you guys meet? And what was the vibe like in the studio when you guys were creating this dope song together?
So we met. I don't even remember what year right now, but my boy Ziggy,
Okay.
he ended up becoming like a part of like his management team, and man, relationships,
Yeah.
and he ended up plugging me with Ace Hood, and ever since we kind of just been cool. Like if he came to Atlanta, he'll
Yeah. You
probably
pulling
like
up.
check in with Ziggy or whatever, or like it like now when I got to the point where like if I go to Miami, I hit Ace, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, what up, man? You in the studio? I'm just here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, it kind of went off that. But as far as doing that record, he actually came to Atlanta. Well, I mean, he lives in Atlanta now, but like he had came to Atlanta and he came by my studio. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was like, man, I just want to do something different, like kind of take a different approach to, some of his records. And shoot, we end up doing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because that's not a typical Ace Hood beat.
Nah, it's definitely not.
Yeah, so yeah.
I've seen on a lot of your music, people get really introspective in their thoughts and their feelings. Like you bring out their interpersonal music to them. Like I seen with Matador Entertainment, you got a really dope artist, Cyrus Wade, Ola, dope song. Everybody can sing around you. What is it about your production you think that brings out the best of people's voices the way it does?
I think more so is like when I'm like working directly with an artist.
Yeah.
I'm a person who likes like natural, like real.
Okay.
Like I don't want to chase it. That's as a producer, it's like you could be sitting on beats for so
Yeah.
long. Like I never get kind of caught up in what's the trendy, what's I like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, man, we just going and know why what record out is special. So anyway, needless to say, when I'm working with an artist, I kind of take that same approach, like what's real to you. You know what I mean? So by the time we putting the elements together, I think it just kind of mesh. And I'm engineering these records, so I'm able to give a lot more direction. You know what I mean? So yeah, just like really producing it, and I think that just like brings the best out. Like majority of the records or artists that I work with, we're not just chasing nothing. Like we're gonna make it a goal. That's what I mean. We're gonna make it a goal for another producer or another artist or another songwriter. We want people to look at it like, yo, we need to do another one of those records.
Now, with you being a producer, do you prefer to be in the studio cooking up with the artists, or do you like when they sending it the stems and everything to you so you can do it on your own time? What's your preferred method of making music?
Man, you know what? Like, I definitely prefer to be in with the artist,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't really like cooking up on the spot like that. Like I know people,
Okay.
I know people do, and I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, and I'm
Mhm.
down to do it, but it's like sometimes I don't feel like you gonna get the best of me, like just because like it's a lot of pressure going
Yeah.
on that, like
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like you don't want the artist sitting there for too long. You know what I mean? Everybody just waiting around, just talking or whatever. So I'm not really able to like be intrusive with my thoughts and like really sit there, put my headphones on, and just like oh that sound. Oh, if I switch the sound, it's like nah, like I ain't got the time to do that. I got everybody around me, so it's like
Yeah.
I kind of like get like a scratch going, and like of like the direction of the record. If the artist or whatever is already pretty much just rapping or singing, in the moment I'll be like, yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and load this up.
We can do it right now.
Yeah, we can just go ahead and load that up, and then I can just get into like post production, so we can make it, around it. Because sometimes also, producer, you can just add as a producer, you can just add too much and take away the vibe a little bit. So
Yeah.
whatever got them vibing, it's like, oh, okay, you know what, I need to just stay in this pocket. So I like doing it in the studio, but it's it can get intricate.
You mentioned that you're the producer and the engineer. So how important is it to have both those hats, you think? Where are artists missing when they're not doing the engineering, right? A lot of people just go into their studio, release a song and
Right.
put it out there. But I know with your talent of being an engineer, there's a little bit of tricks to the trade kind of that makes
Sure.
the song sound better. What are some of the things you're doing as an engineer you think that are making the song stand out?
Man, I think a mix is everything. I think it could be the determining factor between the hit record
Yep.
and that record is cool. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like it's really the determining factor. And every record I approach, I'm going for the hit. You know what I mean? So that means I got to touch it. You know what I mean? Because every engineer or whatever is not
Yep.
gonna hear what I hear.
They're not
You
going to
know,
hear the sounds that you meant to have there. Yeah.
yeah, so I might even let somebody else record, but it's like by the time we get the mix, I'm all right, cool. Let me just hear. But it's important as a producer too to know how to mix, just because that same energy that go into the records go into that production. There's certain things that you can add into your production, like different voices or whatever, like
Yeah.
horns or whatever, that can be like a determining factor of a hit production as well. Like you can literally have all the same elements and it be mixed different, and then it's
And
not a
sound
hit no
totally
more.
better.
Yeah, and it cannot be a hit no more. Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a key. I think all the greats know how to engineer.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
personally
Now,
feel like that.
you got a new single right now, GPS with Lily Vasi. Another song where the artist is just singing her heart out. A phenomenal song
Uh,
you guys have put together. How did you guys come together for that song, and what's the response been for you guys on your end?
oh man, the response has been crazy. Just because one, she's a Christian R&B artist,
Yeah.
and she's incredible. Just from like, I mean, I haven't heard nobody like her. You know what I mean, personally,
No,
and she's
she's singing.
bilingual. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
and she is singing Spanish. Her tone is crazy, and her writing is crazy. She wrote that. You know what I mean? So it's
Wow.
like, man, she's like 100%. You know what I mean? Even production wise, like she giving ideas and like we using them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it ain't just like hitting on dead ears. So it's like it's crazy, and I feel like just in the Christian or gospel space, like we've never seen her.
No,
You
I
know?
agree. Yeah, she
Yeah.
stands out in that space a lot,
Yeah.
especially very time. Now, when you have something like what you guys got going on with this song being so powerful already, does that make you start thinking about an EP together, an album together, like more projects, or you guys focus more on the one song you got now and see how it goes?
Man, just really playing it by the ear.
Yeah,
You play ear, man. Cause I mean, I try not to get too like excited or like wrapped up into like to like what could potentially happen. You know
mm,
what I mean? Because the moment you do that and everything change, you just kind of get let down.
yeah,
So it's like, you know what I mean? I feel like, well, I get let down. How about that? Some people could just take it on the chin and just move. But I kind of wanted to get to a point where it's like, hold on, this the album?
yeah,
This the EP? Oh, okay, cool. So
yeah.
yeah, but no, we have done like more than one record, you know what I mean? So You know, hopefully they come out and hit Billboard.
How do you deal with that as a producer? A lot of times you're in the studio, you're making a dope song together, you and the artist are vibing, you think everything's going, and then you got to wait for the label to clear it, or you got to wait and you find out, like, when do you find out the song is coming out, and how do you deal with the weight that you have to deal with on that?
Man, you know what? Sometimes it just depends on the artist. You know what I mean? Just because, like, I mean, or the label, you know what I mean? But sometimes it just drop and you be like, yo, we ain't had no conversation. Like, you know what I mean?
Out of nowhere.
That's crazy. I don't know. You know, you just get tagged on IG or something. I'm like, hold on, what? This is out? You know what I mean? But dealing with the weight, that's the thing, man. We just got to keep moving.
Yeah, you ain't got time to,
You can't even get your, I mean, like, I got records now, you know what I mean? I did with like tons of majors, you know what I'm saying? From Keisha Cole to Wife and Lucci to whoever, like, you know what I mean? It's just different people, and it ain't out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't know if it ever's gonna come out, but I be hearing stories of people be like, they released a song from 5 years ago. I just hope I'm in that package one day.
You just wait. Yeah, hopefully you get
right.
Now, see, you and your team's doing some really dope event called Pass the Aux, where you guys are giving other producers opportunity to collaborate and stuff like that. How did you guys come up with it, and what's been the reaction so far for it?
So we've done that in our recording studio, the collab, dope. And really coming up with it. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably like more of my partner idea, but like just from my conversation, like it's just more so about like we have like so many like clients that come to our studio and do records. It's kind of like, you know, let's just give people opportunity just to hear what people are recording. You know what I mean? And even with that, it may be a way of like even bringing more people into the studio just to, you know, because if you get, you know, the next big record to come out the studio, like it could be the new house. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like just putting the face on the name almost.
Now, speaking of making it a hot spot, when Kurt Franklin debuts his song that you produced on the Verses, how hot did the studio get for you at that time?
But that's it. That's crazy. That was Won't He Do It. I think that was I don't know what, you know what's crazy? I didn't like watch the Verses from
okay, like, you weren't given any heads up or anything that was going to happen.
I had no clue. So by the time he did it, I don't know if I was tagged in it or what, but I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, I mean, that's obviously royalty.
So you wake up the next morning and tell us what your tags look like. What's your Twitter like? Did you have to throw away your phone? Like, I gotta imagine the mentions were through the roof.
Man, you know what? I haven't been on Twitter like in a real way in so long. Okay. So it wasn't great, but like on Instagram, like no, it can get crazy when it's something like that. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Now, you also had another really dope song collaboration. I wanted to highlight Scotty, ATL, Trans Lee, and KP, man. Super dope artists that I seen you were collabed with. How did that song come about, and what was it like seeing the three of them in their element going back and forth the way they were?
To be honest, that's a record when we were just talking about like didn't know nothing about.
Okay.
That's definitely a record that I had no clue, but Trans Lee hit me in just because I don't know Gray like that. Like we're aware of each other, you know what I'm saying? But I don't like have a relationship with him. But Scotty, I know him as well. But yeah, Trans Lee was the one who hit me about that record. Dope. You know what I mean? But like they at the time they was doing like a series of like videos, and it's kind of like, and it was super dope. Like they damn near just did a musical. Like
yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like just for them to use, you know, my production within that, like I think that's crazy. I think anything innovative, I want to be a part of.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Facts. I feel like that's what that was, you know, something innovative for sure.
Now I want to highlight Jay Meyer. He's the one that hooked us up. How did you two meet, and what's it been like working together and collaborating over these years?
So a networking event. I told you I'm a networker. So actually my guy, my boy Z, he actually connected with me with Jay Meyer. I forgot what event we was at or whatever, but ever since then we've been cool. He was a role manager in Chrisette Michelle at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I was trying to get in with her. You know what I mean? I was trying to send records for her or whatever, or like
Yeah.
have her come to the studio or whatever. So really, I think our relationship just kind of built from there. And like by the time he like got into other like business ventures, we'd just either like collab on that or like just see how he can fit in what I'm doing and vice versa. You know what I mean? So he just been a good friend just over the years.
Dope. Now, can we give a little free game? Because there's a lot of producers out there and they want to know, how do I get my song to these artists? Can you give any like play by sneak peek or strategy you use to like get your music submitted the right way? Because there's so many people out here that say, do this, do that. What's one of the ways you would suggest?
Man, to be honest, it just it's different now. Like, you know what I mean? But I think in even like no matter how like different the game gets, I think if you're willing to take a risk to go meet a person, I think that always works personally. You know what I mean? Like if you know a person gonna be not necessarily a concert or something like that, but like you know a person gonna be doing a book sign or something like that. Like let's say Chris Brown, like somebody wanted to work with Chris Brown, and this might be over the top or whatever, but like want to go work with Chris Brown and he doing these $1,000 pictures. That $1,000 may be worth it in that time to be like,
you gotta do it.
I'm about to go like, I don't know, like I'm about to go meet Chris and maybe he point me in the direction of the person I need to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But it just gotta get that risky sometimes. You know what I mean? Where it's like you gotta put your best foot forward. You can't think these artists need you. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know who you are. You know what I mean? They're less likely to hear you. But if you put yourself in an environment that is like, he did what for what? Man, I respect it. Like I gotta at least hear him out. You know what I mean? I was watching Jermaine Dupri talk about some guy he ran into in the mall. Was like, yo, I got 10,000 for you. And all this is a lot of money. That's that I'm saying. But I'm just like, I can name a bunch of scenarios that people have thought of, but like the Jermaine Dupri one, he was like, the guy was like, I got 10,000 just for you to listen to my music. Jermaine didn't take the money, but he was like, immediately he was like, yo, like he remembered him. He gave the story.
Yeah, he remembered.
You know what I mean? So it's like you just got to stand out, like from your approach. You just can't be. You got to be dressed well. You know what I'm saying? You can't make people feel uncomfortable walking up on them. Like, and sometimes they're not the people to talk to. You want to talk to the manager.
A lot of times you can't talk to the talent. They can't tell you anything anyways. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So you really want to get with the engineers, photographers, the people next to them. But
I learned a valuable lesson in Atlanta. It's the people in the club in the back that are hanging out by themselves that everybody's ignoring. Those are the ones you should go say hi to, because they're the ones that through the event, they have the security, they have the artists, they're the ones that really do the business stuff behind the scenes on that. Now, you always give a lot of dope advice on your podcast. As I said, I wanted to highlight something. Give a free beat to someone for an artist as long as they're going to put marketing behind it. So can you go a little bit into that? Like, so many people get caught up in the money that's involved in the initial exchange. Right. But I agree with you. If you know an artist is going to put that budget behind it, sometimes maybe it's a good win. But what's your strategy with that you were talking about?
Man, you can kind of, again, it goes to that feeling and like you can kind of tell like a person like, man, I don't know, I'm about to just put it on Spotify. And it's like, and it's like those are the people that's harder to believe in for that free beat. You know what I'm saying? But the people that's coming with like, hey, this is my graphic designer, this is my whatever this, and then you can see it though. Like you can go on nowadays, you can go to social media and look at what they're doing, and like that person who's like the Trans situation, like, you know what I mean? Like how they was doing like the series of videos. Imagine if they were just doing that again and again with one record. You know what I mean? The energy, like just people who put their energy into their craft, and you could tell they like really mean. It goes into the feeling of the music. Like you could just tell, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what, this person believes in themselves so much. I'm not in it alone. You know what I mean? So I can give you a free beat because I feel like we invested. We
Yeah.
put this record like
Yeah.
you're not just coming to me for 10 free beats, you coming to me for this free beat. And we about to put in the work. And you can even come back after that because I know
Yeah.
we building.
Yeah,
But
and
if you
they'll feel like it's a mutual situation now. So if you're not charging me off the rip, it's no longer business first. It's oh you believed in me, gave me this free beat. Now I'm getting hot in the streets out here. Well, who am I gonna get my album? Well, I'm gonna come do it again. I'm gonna keep that going.
right, right. And you have your people who do like fall short on their word.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? As far as like, when it comes to like keeping the producer on notice. But with that being said though, like we in a day and age of like that you do get that record as a producer, it ain't even about that artist no more. Like
yeah,
you like now that door is open. Like as far as like publishers calling you, like whoever calling you, like you can walk around and say, like, I did this record, like no matter like in your relationship at that point.
yeah. As soon as you got a hit behind you, everything changes.
Right, everything changes. So sometimes it's still worth it. You know what I mean?
Now the Industry Convos podcast, when do you air that? You said you've done 10, so where can where can people go see the archives of it? Like I said, I really love the podcast and I want to definitely support that for you, but where can people go check it out for you when it drops?
So you can go to YouTube. You can see like the 4 episodes there. We
Okay.
haven't like decided like a day to like consistently drop yet because we're still like formatting the team and just kind of getting the idea out there, but we've been getting a lot of traction on it.
Yeah, I
But
can say for you guys just trying to figure it out, you guys are already crushing it. I see the clips are going viral, so salute to you on that.
all right, no, appreciate you. Yeah, so but yeah, like you can go to YouTube and you can see like full episodes and some of the same clips you can see like kind of chopped up on YouTube, but like not all the same clips. That's why
Yeah.
there's still a difference with the social media. But like the 4 episodes is on YouTube.
Now, what songs are out right now that you've produced that you want DJs and people that break records to go go push for you?
Man, right now it's just GPS. But
Okay.
I'm not gonna say just GPS. But as far as like a DJ, I don't have no club record out right now. That's what I need. I need a
Okay.
club record right now. But I've been working, like I said, we've been working heavily on lead. We're working on like some stuff. So there's some stuff coming out. Um
Do you have any dates or anything we can announce? We can circle on the calendar for you, singles or videos that's coming up from the team.
I don't have any dates right now.
Okay.
I know we got something with Air Bellinger coming out like really soon. I
Ooh,
just
fire.
can't remember the date.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's something. I think it's like January, February. I can't remember. But yeah, that's coming up. Lee is gonna drop again, so we got something with her again. Yeah, we're working on a couple artists right now. You
Okay.
know what I mean? It's some stuff in the pipeline, but it ain't real till it's out.
Well, like we said, as a producer, you probably got some of the biggest hits in the world just waiting to get the final okay. So we're just sitting here humble as can be, and you're gonna wake up tomorrow, it came through, and then you'll be like, okay, Billboard. Now,
Man,
we've highlighted a lot of your successes already. What's one of the highlights from your career that stands out to the most? Maybe the first time you knew you were going to be successful with this, or what's one of your highlights?
one of my highlights in my career, I'm trying to think. That's a good question. See, that's the problem with not like living in the moment.
Yeah, you're too busy. What? Too busy putting points in the board to relive watch the highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe won't he do it? Like that's the first time like I had hit Billboard.
Yeah.
Well, it's between that or my first plaque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
I mean,
realize,
won't he do it is a phrase that is used through culture
right,
everywhere around the world right now. So won't he do it has some
right.
little bit of oomph to it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And it was #1 for like 50 some weeks. I can't remember.
Yeah.
58, 53. I can't remember right now. But like, yeah, so like that was my first #1 record. So it's like that's big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that moment, I don't even know if I had it yet, to be
Okay.
honest with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I love it.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean, but you've had so much success, and other people would be satisfied. And you can see it's 2025. You're like, I'm just getting started. Like
Oh,
the
for
plays
sure,
in motion. So I love it.
for sure, for sure. You know what I mean? But you know, opening the studios and stuff I have, like that's another like that's like a chessboard, but maybe once.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's coming. I
It's
feel
coming.
I feel like
Yeah.
the answer to that question,
Yeah.
like I'm probably gonna tear up. Like whenever that moment is, I'm sure I'm gonna tear up.
Hey, when you get that moment, call me. We'll go live again. Say it
Yeah, yeah,
happened,
we
and we'll
need
be
to do
like,
another
"Here's the
interview.
moment we wait."
Yep.
Now, you said you're a big networker. Can we catch you at any of the upcoming conferences or anything you're planning to be at, so people can come up and meet you and stuff like that?
Well, I'll be at the Grammys again.
Oh, okay.
But you know, like I guess a lot of the parties are canceling right now due to you
Yeah,
know the wildfires.
yeah.
And
Thoughts and
so,
prayers to them on there.
for sure, for sure. But I ain't gonna lie, I already got tickets, so they gonna have it out there. Might as well just go out there.
He said, "I'm still
Um,
going out there."
I'm still going, but yeah, so I'll be there. But a lot of, to be honest, if you're in Atlanta, really or LA, whatever the big events, I'm probably gonna be there.
They're
Like,
gonna
you
be
know what I
there.
mean? Like whatever the events that everybody can't get at or something like that, I'm probably gonna be there.
He said, "I'm gonna be there."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Or if like a big artist
Yeah.
is doing something, yeah, I'm gonna definitely be there.
So
I've been
now
trying to find my way to different places.
you mentioned your team a few times. How important is a team to you, and who are some of the members that help make it your guys' successful business go on?
Oh man, the team is everything, man. And you know what's crazy? I learned that at the latter part of my career. Like,
Yeah,
just
facts.
like, yeah, man, because like I came in the game like scared of like, all the horror stories that happens in the music industry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I didn't trust a lot of people. I still don't trust a lot of people. I probably actually trust less people, but I know how to trust people now. Like
Yeah.
it's like a little different. Before it was just like, oh, they said they was gonna do this, so I know they're gonna do this. Why would they say they wouldn't?
Yeah.
Okay, I learned my lesson. You know what I mean? So, but um, man, the team is everything. Like, especially to me now, because like the best thing a person can learn how to do in this industry is learn how to delegate.
Yep, facts.
You know what I mean? Like network and delegate. That's what I feel like the industry is made of. You know what I mean? Like if you can't do it, you more valuable than knowing the person who can. You know what I mean? Even if you don't pick up the skill, like if they can keep calling you to, hey, you got a person for this, person for this. You're like, hey man, this dude, everybody. He blah blah blah. Blah. You know what I mean? So team is very important. Members of my team, we still growing, but I got Lewis Price. He's a member on the team. Like, man,
Oh,
anything like marketing related, he pretty much helps me out, man. Like a lot, like them, like the thumbnails and all that stuff for like industry combos and stuff like that.
that's always
That's
dope.
yeah. But anytime I sign an artist, anything like that too, I immediately like, yo, like, Lewis, how you feel about them? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you think we can like market and this and that with them? So him, my management, Naya, Peak Agency, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much is something that she created or whatever, you know what
Cool.
I mean? So yeah, those are my immediate team members.
Now I asked you, how do you go about pitching to other artists, but now how do you deal with artists pitching to you now? Because you're doing all these hits, you got, all the successful as a producer, you're making hits like this. How do you deal with artists trying to, collab with you? And are you open to that if artists are, interested?
Yeah, definitely open to it. But now I deal with it in a sense. I feel like if I'm gonna like go out my way,
Yeah.
like to really work with an artist, like I feel like my investing interest got to be like truly be like I gotta love the music. Like I gotta be able to wake up
Yeah.
thinking about you. You know what I mean? Like because right now you wouldn't be nothing to chase. Like as far as like you don't have a sales history, nothing like that. But it's like if you're an independent artist and your music is that good, I'm like, yo, like like that makes me want to chase you at that point. Like, man, golly, this music is incredible. Like, I haven't heard nothing like this. So it's like, man, we got to get in the studio. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's rare you come across those artists that feel like that, but that I come across those artists because I'm pretty picky. But like, you know, when I love artists, like I love artists.
The hard thing is you could have the most talented artist there is in the world, but they won't do the work that it requires. They won't be in the studio for 5 days straight, just cooking up to see what the chemistry is. They won't go to the club and not party, but network with the DJs and the tastemakers. So when they do drop, people want to see them win. Like there's a lot of work that goes into it. How have you seen from your point of view where the artist who's been successful, is there a secret sauce they have or something they've done that stand out, you think, that made them become the TIs and all that you've been around?
Man, the team. The team, like, you know what I mean? Like, and the artists are willing to do everything that you just said, like, you know, like willing to like stay out late night and go to this networking event, go to this networking event. Like, you know, one of the defining things that I can tell artists serious is if I run into you in LA.
Yeah.
Or if I run into you in Miami or like at these like music events and I'm like, oh, you ain't bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, like, are you serious? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that person right there outweigh a person who even more talented than them. You know what I'm saying? Because I like look at you first in the sense of like, it's something there.
Yeah,
like,
you hear again.
Like, I'm cool with figuring it out at that point. You know what I'm saying? But I got like a rule. Like if I don't meet you like 3 times, like I don't even remember your name. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not that I'm trying that. Like it's not that I'm not listening. It's like I'm literally like.
Well, you meet 1,000 people a day.
I just don't remember you. You know what I mean? So
I had the privilege to meet K Slay, and he told us like if I see you 7 times, you got to be at these places and where I'm at, and I just keep seeing you. Eventually, I'm gonna walk over to you like, yo, why are you here? Why do you keep popping up? What is it you do? Like you pique people's interest. So like you're right, just be in the location. If you know there's a party going on, pay the cover charge to get in, so you can be in that venue, and they'll just start seeing you and be like, oh, well, come rock with us.
Yeah, for sure, man. Man, face card is everything. You know what I mean? Like
now, outside of producing and running your label, what do you like to do for fun? If you got downtime, what are you doing to enjoy yourself?
Man, I'm trying to get to that this year. So
okay, trying to enjoy yourself this year.
Yeah, man. But traveling, I do love traveling. I told myself I'm gonna pick up like a new skill or something this year. But man, you know what else? I like construction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I do like construction. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the people who know me, they like, man, they call me like bodybuilder at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you building homes? Are you building, work?
I started with building studios, and then like you know, to like building like islands, like tables. Then I just built the fireplace, and you know what I mean. So it just
that'd be a luxury, a lucrative career for you, building studios, custom made studios from Grammy nominated, Grammy affiliated producer. Like you could add all those little tags to it, but because nobody knows how to make a real studio. Like they think they do, but there's a certain way you got to put walls, and there's a certain acoustic you got to build into that.
Yep. So it's like I really enjoy that. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I think that's like what I want my career to look like. Like this person is good at like starting from scratch. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just what it is in all aspects of my life. You know what I mean? I like to see stuff come from nothing.
And then last question for you. What do you have to say to your fans and supporters who's been rocking with you all these years?
Man, to my supporters, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I definitely have a lot. I have a genuine fan base and a genuine following. You know what I mean? And the fact that people are able to like witness me from like people like from the Grand House of Days and all that other stuff. They know my come up is real.
Yeah.
They know I'm still growing. You know what I mean? And for people to still believe in me says a lot about me. Yeah. And I pray I'll never let you down.
Well, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to go put that GPS. We're going to post that on the Hype Magazine, Stop Beefing Radio, get the DJs behind it because I love dope music. And I appreciate your time tonight, fam.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Much love.
Salute.